on the grounds of the Billie Jean King USTA National Tennis Center in New York City. There's the trophy that everyone is playing for here at the Boca Raton 2023 APP New York City Open in the shadows of Arthur Ashe Stadium here on Championship Court as we get set for the women's semifinal doubles match between top-seeded Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim taking on the 4-seed Rane and Bobbi Oshiro.
Yeah, great matchup here. Again, you have Bobbi Oshiro and Milan Rane playing together for the first time in a long time. They came into pickleball together, started as partners, and then about a year or so ago kind of split up and started playing with other partners, and that's where the two of them found a ton of success. And now, all of a sudden, coming back together and finding, hopefully, some success out here in New York as they are looking pretty good today, Chad.
Yeah, and going up against Jardim and Todd, a few weeks ago, for Bobbi Oshiro, we had a little discussion, even a little training session between Simone and Bobbi, saying, hey, I'm going to hit it at you and I'm going to elevate it. You have to kind of sit in that scorpion position and go through it. Bobbi's one of the shorter players on tour, so something that's at my chest is above her head.
You and I talked about yesterday, isn't everything for Bobbi overhead?
But
she's so...
She has that ability that within that, now she's able to get on top of those balls and she's able to get down on it if she's in the right position. If not, then she gets jammed up and stuff's flying at
well, she already plays in a very low athletic position as it is. She's spread out, she plays low, and she's trying to get, like you said, get on top of that ball.
Yeah, and then for Millie Rane, really developed an extremely strong backhand, and that's probably one of her best shots is that roll down the line or that quick flick on the two-hand backhand side. In order for that to be effective against Jardim and Todd, who both slide and move really well to counterattack that, they're going to have to pinch middle, and then Rane set that up by pinching middle and then that quick flick down the line. But all in all, for Oshiro and Rane going up against Jardim and Todd, have to play clean pickleball, have to kind of elongate those points a little bit, really work the point, and be able to create some holes and develop some fluidity within this play.
Neither team has been tested much up until this point in the tournament. Jardim and Todd, the top seed, move through 1-0 and then dispatch the 8-seeded team, Bonner and Ackerman, 7-5. And you look at Oshiro and Rane, 1-3 in their first match today, and then taking down Salome Davidze and Lee Whitwell 4-1 in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, and like you said, it looks like Oshiro and Rane, after the separation early on in their career, both went out, had new partners, kind of tweaked their games, and now back together again. I like seeing it because they're friends, live in the same area in southeast Florida, and now back playing together again and looking good so far here in New York.
Last second strategy between Rane and Oshiro as Parris Todd is set to serve to start us off here in the women's semifinal. Right back up the middle is the quick side out.
Yeah, good, well-disguised forehand there from Millie Rane. She rolled the first one down to the feet of Todd, and then that one put just a little bit more on it, splitting the middle.
Great forehand there from Jardim.
Well, it's a good spot right there in the middle, and again, Jardim holds that ball on the paddle so long, almost looks like it's going to go right at Oshiro, and she flips down the middle.
Speed up from Todd, finds the corner.
Yeah, a much better job on the backhand side there for Todd. There are times where she tries to do too much with that speed up, but it's a good roll crossbody behind Rane. Gets her twisted up, and that ball lands 6 inches inside the baseline.
Todd not able to handle the dig.
Well, that's good pressure there from both Oshiro and Rane, keeping Todd back at that baseline, not allowing her to hit anything through.
Second time that Jardim has found that center of the court.
Yeah, this time on the backhand side, she sets up, closes that body off like she's going to go down the line. Rane doesn't come back to cover the middle there, and she splits across Oshiro.
Get Jardim and Todd on the board. Really good defense by Jardim and Todd during that point.
Well, working your way out of it, because Rane had 3 overheads that she couldn't really do much with as far as angle goes. We talk about that a lot too. You got to hit the angles on the overheads. You go back to the baseline, they're getting those back.
I sense the forehand long. Dom, I want you to know anytime you say angles, I have that in DJ Khaled voice in the back of my brain.
Oh, man. Well, it is all about angles.
Bloop, bloop.
I'm lost.
Right into the body of Rane.
That's a good step in from Todd right there, the two-hander. She reads that ball's going to get blocked up high. She stepped right in front of the Jardim forehand, though, to take that away.
Side out earned by Todd and Jardim on the backhand air.
Yeah, that one coming out just a little too flat for Rane. She took the ball out of the air to cut down on the reaction time for Jardim, but closed the paddle off too much.
Nice overhead there.
And there's the angle you were talking about, Dom. Rane takes a little bit of pace off of that one, but adds the angle. Jardim not able to go out wide to catch up with it.
Firefight won by Jardim.
But watch Jardim in the middle. When she does this, she follows the ball. So wherever she's hitting that ball, she's following to it, and then she's able to finally put that ball away. If she doesn't follow it, she doesn't get as much on that.
Find some space up the line.
Yeah, that's a tough ball there. Jardim goes back behind herself at Rane, and all Rane does is put a paddle on it. There's no way Jardim can go back. So you were just praising her for following her ball, and then she does the complete opposite of what you were talking about. Good job. Good job, Dom. Good job.
I'll talk to her about it.
Oh, that ball lands.
That's the line.
Ball lands inside the baseline. It wasn't even really a lob. It was kind of an open of the paddle and just push it up. I think the wind helped to knock that one down a little bit as well. But
yeah, and I'll tell you guys, because being down on court, the wind is in the face right now of Jardim and Todd. So I think the wind helps that out a little bit too, but gets up and over the top of Rane with that lob. The bailout lob.
so again, Jardim comes across, takes that ball, goes back behind her. But what she did on that one is by going back behind, she put it into the coverage of Todd, where earlier Todd wasn't able to come over behind.
Such good hands.
You just see Todd, Jardim just reset 2 backhands, and Todd was just like, okay, this one, no, this one. And then she just attacks, but reading off of the resets from Jardim.
501.
And And you talk about checkpoints in a game, and it feels like Jardim and Todd have already passed one.
Yeah, and you're talking about getting off to good starts and you're hitting checkpoints. A lot of those checkpoints come games of 15, but game to 11, you want to get to 5, you want to get to 7, especially you get to 6 on an end change in game 3.
Jardim and Todd win the battle.
Yeah, just a relentless attack right there. I mean, you're up 6-0. You might as well be aggressive and just keep going for everything, right? If you make it, fantastic. If you don't, nothing's hurt.
I had an old coach tell me, shooting won the war, right? And so if you're going to go in, let's go with it right here. And they're just coming in guns blazing right now, but right now it's just too much Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim.
Todd and Jardim have roared out to a 7-0 lead. Oshiro and Rane have called a timeout here in game number 1. And you talk about the fact that Todd and Jardim have come out guns blazing. What is it about this duo that makes them so difficult to play against?
You talk about, these hands battles and these firefights. If you think they're out of control, they're not. To someone at home watching or even here in person watching, it may look like it's just swinging away. The difference with Todd and Jardim is when they are swinging, they're hitting spots. And that's why they're gaining advantages on all these firefights, is that they're working to a spot where eventually they can get a ball down that they can get on top of. And that's exactly what's happening right here. And it's just on the flip side, Rane and Oshiro are kind of just getting it back and going at it.
7-0-1.
Yeah, good reach in there from Oshiro, but you talked about the wind down on the court, Don. We don't feel it up here. Jardim hit an open face slice on the backhand side, and it just hung above the net for a little bit and then dropped down into the kitchen. So definitely different conditions down on the court than what we feel up here in the booth.
Todd sends it long, and Rane and Oshiro earn a side out. That's a big momentum swing after calling the timeout.
Yeah, it's a good timeout, right? Get 2 quick points on your side to earn that side out, and now you got to answer.
0-7-1.
Forehand arrow from Oshiro.
Yeah, that one just a little flat there from Oshiro. Didn't quite open the face, so didn't roll it.
It's over.
Right now, Jardim and Todd with every answer.
That's just a good drop right there. Again, but Todd didn't get a lot on that ball that she had to forehand with on that high ball, but a good drop.
Jardim going for another third shot lob there, but pulled across the body. Yeah, it's a bad, I won't say a fully bad spot, but it's not the best spot to try to speed up from when you're one step inside the baseline.
With the overhead, Oshiro remained finally on the board.
Right there from Oshiro is what you call punishing the backhand of Parris Todd. She eventually got a ball up that she could do something with, but she continuously peppered the backhand of Parris Todd to get a ball up that she could finally put away.
And a forehand error from Todd.
Yeah, just overextended there from Todd. There's not much that you can do when you're fully extended like she was and you sort of swing with the shoulder and just take that ball down into the net.
Second server.
And a tough ball for Rane to miss into the net.
2-7-2.
right there. That's just tough.
Yeah,
two missed thirds,
thirds.
down by 5. You have to make sure you get those up and over, force them to do something. If I get a high mistake, I can live with that. But into the net where they don't have to do anything, that's a killer when you're making a run.
Right into the body of Jardim.
Yeah, that ball floated just a little too high from Todd. Good spot there, going to the left foot of Todd that at times jams you up and creates that pop-up.
Another point for Todd and Jardim.
Yeah, probably not the best attack right there for Rane on that one. Let that ball bounce. Push back cross court, stay in that.
Some confusion in the middle of that point. It looked like Jardim thought the ball was out.
She's telling them it was out.
Yeah, so Jardim thought that ball was way out. They're gonna replay the point here.
The wind held it up is
Yeah.
what happened, right? So she hits that ball way to the what she thought was going to be way wide, and it bounces right on the line.
9-2-2.
So the reset goes the way of Jardim and Todd, 9-2-2. Side out. Just missed from Todd. That didn't miss by much.
No, I didn't miss by much, but she kind of was probably going to miss a little bit wider, but again, that wind held it up a little bit, but just coming too far across the body. Good adjustment there from Rane. Jardim was able to jam her up on the first one, but she knew it was coming back in that same spot, so she cleared the body. And we see Jardim kind of point that she should have gone at Oshiro on the second one.
Rane continuing to find some room there in the middle of the court, causing some unforced errors.
Well, Todd reaches just a little bit too far back. She got the wrist cocked backwards instead of being out in front and punching that ball through the middle.
Great defense, a couple of net cords, but the point goes to Jardim and Todd.
That ball just died when Oshiro got there and tried to extend on it. A couple of fantastic gets from both Todd and Jardim.
Well, you have 4. Okay. Sorry. My bad. She's good. Okay.
Confirming everyone's in the correct position. 4-9-2. Oshiro into the body of Todd.
And again, it's the change of pace, right? What's so successful as a pitcher, Chad? Changing speeds, right, buddy? What does Oshiro do right there? She just a little roll, gets that ball down at the shins. Beautifully done by Bobbi Oshiro.
Todd wanted it.
Few too many errors creeping in right now for Todd and Jardim. That ball was set up extremely well by Jardim, pushing that ball out wide. Todd's there again, takes that big backhand swing, and with that ball going back across her body, if she's not perfect on that backhand, then we're going to end up hitting down into the net.
Let's take a look at our firefight of the match. No surprise coming earlier in the game.
Up 9-6 on Rane and Oshiro.
That firefight of the match brought to you by Vlasic.
I mean, just incredible hands by these ladies. We talked about during that point, it was about who's going to get that ball down first. You know, Dorian, you asked what's the difference maker. You know, it's Jardim and Todd being able to place the ball where they want to go during that firefight and eventually get out on top of that. And that's what they did.
After being up 7-0, Rane and Oshiro have cut the deficit to just 3 points. Jardim and Todd call a timeout. What do they need to do to reset?
Make less mistakes.
That is some high-level analysis there.
Score more points.
Score more points.
All right.
No, in reality, they're just trying to do a little too much right now. They've taken bigger swings. They've caught balls later, and that's where the errors have come in.
Big swing from Todd finds the court.
Yeah, and it was a good adjustment by Todd there. That quick flick up into the body of Rane. And then the adjustment of the shorter compact swing to be able to put the ball through that gap.
Rane can't handle it. And that brings up game point for Todd and Jardim.
And just what a good shot there from Jardim, right on the right hip of Rane.
Oh my goodness. What?
And game number 1 goes to the top seed, Todd and Jardim. They take it 11-6. We'll have game 2 action coming up next in the Boca Raton APP New York City Open.
Take game 1, 11-6 here on championship court number 1.
The APP is presented by USA Pickleball, Penguin, and Consumer Cellular.
For one, we'll have our main drop final.
Jardim and Todd take game one 11-6 on what has been the point of the tournament so far.
Yeah, taking back another look at this one. Rane and Oshiro going for everything on this one, pulling Todd and Jardim out wide. They get the overhead.
Yeah, just can't finish, and that was the issue right there. Is Jardim and Todd played such good defense to stay in that and finally get offensive here at the end and force the mistake.
Yeah, that ball sat up just enough, but Oshiro laid that paddle back. It came out flat and ended up flying.
Todd and Jardim quickly earn a side out. And Dom, I know you think Parris Todd doesn't get enough credit for her defense.
No, she's one of the best defenders in the game. She gets so much back, and it helps osmosis playing with one of the best defenders ever to play in Jardim.
Forehand sails a little bit wide.
Ball's just deep. Todd catching that one a little late. So we'll see that contact back behind the hip, and that's why it came out flat.
You cannot leave the ball up around either Todd or Jardim. They're going to put it away.
Well, it started with a little inside-out backhand from Jardim, forced the ball up. And the next one's hop higher, and then Todd able to finish.
0-2.
Yeah, perfect spot there from Rane. Gets it elevated, and we're seeing a lot more elevated balls having difficulty being able to get on top of, just because it shortens up the ability to be able to get that ball out in front.
Right down the center of the court.
Yeah, great spot right there, but that's set up by the ball that pulls Rane to the sideline by Todd and then opens up the middle and drive a truck through that hole down that service line.
Speed up from Todd. Gets the error from Rane.
And it's tough to find anyone who can step to the side quicker and with a better setup and approach than Parris Todd. You watch her slide to her right and set up that two-hander so early, but again, it's so effective.
1-1-1 early on in game two. Just misses on the lob.
That one
didn't miss by much.
No. It was about 46 feet high and 46 feet, well, not even, 44 and a half.
Error from Oshiro.
Jardim makes that ball that she just hit look so easy, and it's not, because she's on that front foot leaning forward, and that ball was low, too, to roll that up and over.
What placement from Jardim.
Yeah, you'll see the paddle head get all the way underneath the ball on this one. Brushes up, lands that one about a foot and a half inside the baseline. Oshiro thought it was going to go out.
Rane puts it into the top of the net.
Again, it's, we talked about, Sincola and Long earlier, trying to get everything back at once, and that's that shot right there from Rane, trying to get too much back at once.
Oshiro goes right into the body of Jardim to earn the side out.
Yeah, Jardim tried to get out of the way of that one, but couldn't pull the paddle down. It was a perfect spot from Oshiro.
Rane trying to go for the big forehand, instead clips the top of the tape.
1-4-2.
Beautiful overhead from Rane. Or lob. I know what that word is. It's fine.
Yeah, it was perfect offensive lob there from Millie. Rane spun Jardim around. She took the long route to try to get there. Couldn't catch up to it. Yeah, excellent reset there from Oshiro in the middle of that firefight. Jardim not choosing the right ball to speed up there. Coming out low and flat.
Four straight points. We're even at 4 apiece.
Yeah, nice job there from Rane and Oshiro. Again, bouncing back down 4-1 now. They score quick, even this up. You get the timeout from Todd and Jardim. They're just a little out of sorts here, where you're seeing the pressure being placed now by Oshiro and Rane. And it's just a little bit of a difference maker. They're sitting, we talk about sitting front foot, leaning forward and putting that pressure on, rather than sitting back playing on the heels. And that's exactly what Rane and Oshiro have changed here really quickly in this second game.
Yeah, and they're getting a few more balls elevated, more specifically up to the left shoulder of Jardim and then into the chest of Todd. So we saw that last one ended up going wide. And those ones are really giving Todd and Jardim a little bit of pressure because of that two-handed backhand. Once it goes up to that shoulder into the body, you can't take back anymore, so it just becomes a reset. And if you're not out in front with that, the face opens up and that pops the ball up high.
Todd and Jardim back on court, 4-4-2. Quickly on the side out.
Yeah, and that doesn't look like it's much of a ball there from Todd, but what it was that it was right into the middle of Rane. She overran it and ended up jamming herself up.
What defense? Earns a clap of respect from Jardim.
I'm laughing at Dom. Dom's here, left, right, pancake, flat, flick, block, overhead, go. That one had everything in it. And that ball missed just wide. Rane trying to go behind Jardim after she got pulled into the middle of the court.
6-4-1.
Jardim just a little out of position right there. But
she
again,
got away with what?
Yeah, the court's wide open right there. We're just trying to do a little too much.
How quickly matches can turn, because it looked for a moment like Jardim and Todd were on the ropes, and now 3 straight points. And Rane and Oshiro want to take a timeout, want to talk about it.
Well, I mean, pickleball is no different than any other sport. It's a game of runs, right? And can you stop those runs? Well, Jardim and Todd called that timeout when Rane and Oshiro went on that run to tie it at 4. Out of that timeout, they've scored 3 straight, now take a lead 7-4. And on the flip side, you get Oshiro and Rane calling that timeout, trying to slow that momentum down. But again, it's a game of runs like any other sport out there.
What did Jardim and Todd do differently over those 3 points to make that run?
Just stayed clean, right? They continued to put pressure on. They were getting pressure put on them where they were a little bit back on their heels, and now they've begun to get on their toes and putting that pressure back on. So that's a little bit of a difference maker for me as they've gotten this 3-point lead here back in game 2.
Todd and Jardim on serve here in game number 2, up 7-4. Women's doubles top seed took game 1, 11-6. Trying to advance into the winners bracket final.
Good hands there from Todd with the quick 5-fight in the middle, and then Jardim with the inside-out forehand, pushing Rane out wide. Wasn't able to pick that one up.
Clips the top of the tape, and Rane can't adjust.
Yeah, a little love off the tape right there, and it's always hard because you're expecting that ball to come so fast, and all of a sudden it changes speeds, and you're handcuffed a little bit.
Oh, that ball's deep. Oshiro let that one drop too much. That was the issue with that last overhead.
That brings up match point for Jardim and Todd. Just wide, and that will do it. Jardim and Todd moving on to the winners bracket final as they take it 11-6, 11-4. We will hear from the women's top seed coming up when we return here at the Boca Raton APP New York City Open.
We save time when we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Which means more time
Take a check.
Kyle, it's pickleball.
Every time. 002.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Retirement. It's not all one big vacation. It's great to find purpose by trying a new activity. Keep an active social life, but don't forget to make new friends too. As always, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Isn't it wonderful to be retired?
Jardim and Todd advancing in straight games, but this was the point at 4-all that really changed the trajectory of game 2.
Yeah, this is the point where Dom was jumping all over the booth with the overheads, the pancakes, the inside outs. Todd and Jardim pulling everything out in this one. And that ball sailing just deep. We've got Dominic Catalano down courtside with Simone and Parris.
All right, I'm with Simone, Jardim, Parris, Todd. Congratulations, another winner bracket final for you two. But again, playing against Oshiro and Rane, you guys had some incredible firefights. What's the difference maker, you guys coming out on top of most of those, Simone?
I feel like, honestly, that we've been working a lot on just closing that line, and I think when it comes to women's doubles, that's one thing that is the difference. You know, you see the guys all hugging the line, and we tend to back up a little bit, and I think as we close the line, I think the team that does that the best wins the rally.
And Parris, it looks like you're super confident with Simone. Obviously, you guys are continuing to win over and over. You playing on that right side, you seem to slide to that sideline knowing she's going to be there in the middle so you can get to that two-hander. Is this something you guys talk about and work on?
Yeah, you know, I think it's just the familiarity of playing with each other and being confident on when one of us takes the ball, the other one's going to come over and vice versa. So it's just the partnership, and the more that we play together, the more comfortable that we get.
All right, well, congratulations, Simone and Parris. Moving on to the winner bracket final. We'll take a break. Next matchup here on Championship Court at the Boca Raton APP New York City Open.